Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Book Chat. So November is Native American Heritage Month. So going with that theme, I picked about 4 books that we are going to talk about that deal with either Native American history, culture, or books that are written by Native American authors. So the first book that I'm going to share with you today is Indian Legends of the Pacific Northwest by Ella E. Clark. So this book has been in print actually for 50 years. It's really cool. It has about 100 stories that are from the oral tradition of the Native Americans from Washington State and Oregon State. So this book is divided by type of stories. So there are creation stories, stories about lakes, stories about rivers, rocks, mountains, and more. Something that I really appreciate about this book is that before each entry, the author shares a little blurb that gives either more historical context or geographical context to the story that's about to be shared. And also sometimes there will be a little bit of information about the person who told the story to the author, which I think is really cool. So the next book I'm going to share is the Mindful Family Guidebook, Reconnect with Spirit, Nature, and the People You Love by Renda, Dionne, Madrigal, PhD. So this book is written by a Native American psychologist from the Chippewa tribe. In her practice, she blends both Indigenous practices and she has a huge focus on mindfulness as well. This book is intended for parents of children from about ages 5 to teenagers. Something I really love in this book is that she recommends so many activities and rituals for families to do together. So, for example, some of the rituals include learning about ancestors, determining your family values as a unit, how to deal with conflict, games to cultivate joy and fun in your family, and more. My favorite activity that she recommends in this book is called the Family Honoring Circle. And it's when the family gets together, they write something that's nice about everyone else or something they like about everyone else. They get in a circle, and one by one, someone goes in the middle, and the whole family reads the nice things they wrote about that person. And at the end, the person can keep the notes and take them with them to remember all the positive things that the family had to say about them. The next book I'm going to share with you is Spirit Run, a 6,000-mile marathon through North America's stolen land by Noe Alvarez. So this book is really interesting. It's a memoir. The author tells the story of he was in college. He just was feeling very disconnected. It wasn't really working for him. So he ends up dropping out and he joins what's called the Peace and Dignity Journeys. It's a Native American and First Nations movement of people that get together and they run across the continent of North America. So from Canada all the way down to Guatemala. So he takes this 4-month-long journey through Canada to Guatemala, and he talks about how he forms a relationship with the land. He talks about his positive experiences, his negative experiences. At one point, they encounter a mountain lion, which is pretty scary. He tells the story of the people that he's traveling with, and he also tells the story of his immigrant parents who came to the U.S. from Mexico, and how special it was for him to get to go through the land where his parents came from. The next book I'm going to share with you is called Covered with Night, a story of murder and Indigenous justice in early America by Nicole Eustace. So this is a work of historical nonfiction. It was actually a finalist for the 2021 National Book Award in Nonfiction. It starts in 1722. There is a Native American hunter that is killed by 2 colonialist fur trappers. And it tells the story of all the events that transpire afterwards. It does a really good job of showing the cultural contrast between the colonial justice system and the Native Americans who are looking for more of a restorative justice. And the author does a really good job of incorporating a lot of voices that normally haven't been shared in historical narratives, such as the voices of women, Indigenous people, indentured servants, and enslaved people. And this will probably appeal to mostly people that are interested in early American history, and I highly recommend it. So those are the 4 books I decided to share with you all for Native American Heritage Month. Those are not the only books that we have on this topic. We have many more books that we can share with you. So if you're interested in something else, or if you're interested in any of these titles that I did share, you can always give us a call and we'll help you get what you need. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye.